Well, welcome everybody. We'll just give another minute for people to stream in. For those that are coming in right now, give us a second and we'll have everybody starting here in just a minute.
Yep. Feel like I want to sort of be an auctioneer and saying 31, 40,
Yeah,
44.
here we go.
Hi, Dan. Good morning to you.
Good to see you, Roger.
Yeah, and you, friend. So, looks like we've got a good bunch of people coming in, and
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to hearing the presentations, learning something new today.
me too.
Hey, Julie Jacobs, welcome. I see you. I know you can't answer me back. That's a position of power that I've got over you.
Talk to people when they can't talk back,
Yeah,
Roger.
it's lovely. Wait, I'll get another comment coming through on the chat just now if I'm not careful.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, hey, it might be just worth saying we've got Carrie Dayton on, who is always,
yeah.
certainly for the last few years, facilitated and helped us with our TechCast days. But we have a new model amongst us as well. It used to be Carrie or Carrie. Now we've got Peter. Peter Mary joins us, and he's assisting us with the TechCast and facilitating things today in the background. So welcome, Peter.
Yeah. Thanks, Peter. That's good. I hadn't noticed before that the Carrie and Mary rhyme.
Yeah,
So that's funny.
yeah, very good.
Well, I think that we can see people join as they go, but they'll catch up with some of these introductory remarks. My name is Dan Vlamis. I'm joined by my co-host, Roger Cressey. Hello, Roger.
Hey, hi there.
Hey, just so you know, everybody, we're going to be going through, this is our winter session for TechCast Days. If you have any issues with hearing volume or such, you can put things in the chat. Otherwise, if you have questions for our presenters, we'd prefer that you put it in the Q&A widget down at the bottom of your screen. People are probably familiar with Zoom at this point. And they're going to be answered pretty much towards the end of the session. Roger and I will interrupt sometimes if we think that, hey, this is better at this point in the session. We are recording this session, and they'll be available at the after the end. And we'll talk a little bit more about how to get involved with ANDOUC, but they'll be on our YouTube channel within a week or so. We chop them into pieces and such. So with that, we have a great session. We have 3 days of content. We'll go through a bit of that and then get into this very quickly. And then we do have some breaks coming up. I do want to make sure that as we go, you can see some of the faces of some of the people that are going to be presenting. I do want to make sure we thank our sponsor, UiPath. We'll actually hear a bit from them. I have a couple questions I want to ask KJ, one of their senior developers on this, but they're making this possible by sponsoring us. So thank you very much, UiPath, for that. Today's session, we're going to have in Analytics Plus, we're going to have, I'm going to talk along with a client of Vlamis's, Rosenden, and then we'll have Philippe Lyon will give us kind of an analytics update from Oracle Analytics Cloud, and then Roger has a presentation as well. He's talking about a client presentation. So we'll be talking about that. Here's the lineup of what we're doing. With that, you can see generally the presentations are a little less than an hour, allowing for a break. And then KJ will talk about using automation to fulfill product gaps. Then Philippe will talk about Oracle Analytics, the roadmap, and the new product features. Then we'll have a break. And during that, you'll have a slightly longer break. We'll also show some resources that you'll have. The times here may be a little approximate. We'll see how it goes. And then Roger will talk about American Eagle and what they've done with that. And then we'll wrap up with all of this. So Roger, take us through, if you would, some of the other days, what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Yeah, so we've got 2 more days of this. Again, same timing. And now the next one up is actually tomorrow is spatial and location intelligence day, and you can see there's a real tribe of people who will be presenting to us. and I think we've learnt about spatial and location that they like to do things in tribes. But there's some really interesting stuff. We've got Derek Hayden, Chris Sculio from Outfront Media, puts the L in TLC. I presume that still means tender loving care these days.
And I think it's also location.
Okay. Tender location care. I like it. Okay. We've got Mark Daines with Oracle Spatial Studio, and spatial features in Oracle Apex, and then optimizing Oracle Spatial Performance by Daniel Geringer. So there's a really full bunch. There's lots to listen to tomorrow in the spatial and location day, and then the last day, which unfortunately you'll have more of me. Abby Giles Haig and myself will be hosting that day, and as well as that, Abby is presenting. So we've got using machine learning for prediction, and in fact that's Ambili from Cognizant. And we've got what's new in Oracle machine learning from Mark Hornick, and always that's a whole lot of information, usually really interesting, from an interesting bloke. And then the last one is actually from Giga, who's one of my colleagues, talking about business users and machine learning in Oracle Analytics. So there's quite a full sort of lineup coming up over the next 2 days. So, and obviously the idea is that you tune in. Obviously, listen to as many of the sessions as are useful, but as Dan's already mentioned, they will find their way onto our YouTube and our website areas. So you watch the ones that you most that you are able to, and then go back and mop up the rest at a later stage.
Of course, you can register for any of these at Analytics and Data Summit, and spelled out, as you can see on the screen, analyticsanddatasummit.org/techcastdays. That's how you get to these. Hopefully you've already found that. That's how you found your way here. But register for the other days. There is a separate registration for each of those days.
Yeah. So go
ahead, Roger.
No,
I'll let you take it through the beginning of when we start talking.
Yeah, so I mean, what we're looking for you folk to get involved with us. We have a number of volunteers sort of already helping us, but we're interested in going through and understanding who else can help us with volunteers. But we also want you to submit abstracts for this. These abstracts, there's no specific criteria except that it should be Oracle centric, and obviously we want interesting presentations that will give you, if you like, coverage out there. And but we want your knowledge. We want to share your knowledge in the community. So if you've got a chance to submit an abstract, that would be fantastic. And you'll see there's some Tech Cost Days. There's a whole lot of information that you can actually follow. I think Peter will probably put these into the chat, but I'm not going to go through those in detail. And I think really the last thing is to start talking about Tech Cost Days. Dan's already touched on the fact that we want you to. Sorry, yeah.
I'll get it.
Thank you. It's funny. I get to be the backseat driver again today. Yeah. So yes, please use Q&A. If you put things in the chat, they won't necessarily be picked up. If you put them in Q&A, we'll pick them up, and we'll if we don't actually get to answer them during this, we generally pass them on to the speaker anyway, and we can then get you an answer to your question. We've got a Slack workspace, and we've actually we'll be posting the presentations. We've got PDFs of the presentations that are happening today that will already be posted in Slack. So feel free to look at those directly, and to ask questions even in Slack. And then we've got a newspaper, which is also there, but there's various ways that you can interact with us. So yeah, I think Dan may talk talk about and show you more detail on the Slack channel a little bit
Yeah, I
later in
will.
the day. But really, I think that's probably enough of my taking up airtime. And